This little bent stick can fly 70 yards. This is a rabbit stick. It's a non-returning boomerang. Like the name suggests, it's used for hunting rabbits. This one's carved from a small branch of black walnut wood. It's on the small side, but it packs a punch. It's only rough carved right now, so I need to do some finishing work on it. Then I'm going to paint it using natural pigments, make it easier to find after throwing. I'm using a couple local stones to scrape this smooth. These three are Idaho obsidian, and this is agate. Quickly made stone tools like this work a lot like a spoke shave, just taking off nice curls of the wood to remove the axe and knife marks and leave a smoother finish. Used this way, stone tools are surprisingly efficient. These tools didn't require any additional shaping. They're just roughly broken, and I picked out ones that looked like they had good scraping edges. It's looking good, it's just got some wet spots from the snow. Let's sand it now. We'll be using horsetail ferns to give it a smooth finish. It's all wet from the weather, which isn't ideal, but it should still work. Horsetail fern has a lot of silica in its cell walls, along with ridges going up the stem. That combination makes it a pretty effective fine sandpaper. You can see how that damp sawdust is taking off. Even though it's wet, it's definitely made it more smooth. If everything was dry and with enough diligence, you can actually achieve a pretty nice polish on hardwood using horsetails. We'll call that good. Got some red clay here, and we're going to use that to make a paint. Just got to mix it with a little water. This is a clay bowl I made. There we go. That's looking good. I want to paint this whole rabbit stick. And we'll contrast it with a little bit of charcoal paint. Even when the rest of this clay washes off, it'll still have a good red stain. It'll make it much more visible. Now this is a really small rabbit stick. Historically, ones like these would be used for rabbits, obviously, but also waterfowl. This one is more like the ones used for ducks because when you throw this, a duck spook and they fly straight up. This rabbit stick goes on a flat trajectory first and then it curves upwards because of the lift it generates. So it would meet the birds mid-flight. That can be tuned out of a rabbit stick so it has a flatter trajectory by carving or by heat bending the limbs. Wiped off the excess so it just got a red stain. Let's see if we can make some black bands on it now. So right here the battery on my mic died. All I'm doing here is grinding up a piece of charcoal into a fine powder. And as you can see here, I then paint that powder onto the wood. Now it's not a very permanent paint. If I wanted it to be more permanent, I would mix the powder with a little bit of oil. And this works for the red clay too. And as I make more rabbit sticks that I like better, I'll do more oil-based paints. That contrast really does help you find them, especially in this area where there's a lot of tall grass. And even though most of this stain can rub off, it leaves an old weathered look that I really like. But if you want your paint to stay really bold, use a bit of oil when making it. Alright, here's our finished rabbit stick. I think the colors look really good on it. This is a pretty small rabbit stick. I would not take anything larger than a rabbit, but this would be great for prairie dogs and quail. And you can of course use sandpaper and modern tools to make this as clean as you want. But I like the rough primitive look of this one. Now it's really hard to film this in flight because really quickly it's out of range for the camera to easily pick up. I've tried to record shots throwing towards the camera from quite a distance and still ended up accidentally hitting the camera, so I want to be careful of that. Someday soon I'll have to get some drone footage of this so you can really see what it does in flight and just how far it flies.